Over a year ago now, it was announced that we were going to be getting a Battlestar Galactica movie and TV series. But nothing seems to have happened since. Are they dead in the water? Welcome to Scitrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel.
Good morning, Starbuck. What do you hear?
Nothing but the rain.
Grab your gun and bring in the cat.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ronald D Moores' Battlestar Galactica reboot was a triumph, particularly for me, the miniseries. The miniseries was just epic television. It was a genuinely brilliant spectacle. And I just wish, honestly, it was maybe a little bit before its time, because could you imagine sort of streaming network money a few years later and that project? It could have been even better. And Sam Esmail and Simon Kinberg are hoping to recreate that brilliance with a movie and TV series. Sam Esmail is hoping to put a television series that will be in the same universe as the movie on the Peacock network. And Simon Kinberg is looking to do a cinematic reboot of the Battlestar Galactica original movie. Now, both of these projects are apparently still within the same universe as Ronald D Moore's version, and apparently Sam Esmail's actually spoken to Ronald D Moore and actually got his permission to do this, which is something he said he felt was important to do. It's like asking for a young lady's hand in marriage. You ask the dad first, right?
That was an unexpected move.
A few months ago, I actually got a little bit of leaked information that the plot was going to be based around the Cylons, the human hybrids that the Cylons created, and obviously the escaping colonists. And that was going to be the three-way battle. That the hybrids going to end up attacking the humans, but end up turning on the Cylons during the conflict, and then actually helping the human colonists for the rest of the series. Now, the Battlestar Galactica movie has been on the cards for years, nearly a decade. Bryan Singer was initially signed on to direct and produce the movie, and then since then there's been a long list of names: Jack Paglen, Lisa Joy, John Orloff, Francis Lawrence. The name goes on and on and on. But currently, it's still on the IMDb list for Simon Kinberg, along with a million other projects. Honestly, his IMDb for projects over the next 2 years is about 30 long. There is no way. I know he's a producer, so he can drop in and out of projects, but something's got to give. And I think that is going to be part of the problem. So what have I been told? I obviously have spoken to people I know within the industry, and generally speaking, the feeling is that right now, these projects are dead. Now, the Battlestar Galactica TV series for Peacock could go ahead at any point, but it won't, because it is inexorably linked with the movie. Now, as I said, Sam Esmail has talked a lot at the start of last year about how the projects for the movie and the TV series were intertwined with each other, that they were going to be existing within the same universe, and that there was a lot of work being done to make sure that they complemented each other. So the movie has now been put on hold. There is no news about when it's going to happen. But why is that? Projects like Deadpool 3, Wayland, Artemis and the Running Man have just took precedent. These projects are currently in production. He actually, looking at his IMDb and looking at his work history over the last few years, he tends to have 4 or 5 projects actually in production at any one point. This guy seriously works hard. But those projects have just overtaken the Battlestar Galactica project and put it on the back burner. I'm also being told, though, that there is just not so much money in sci-fi as there was a couple of years ago. There isn't as much confidence in putting money into a project like Battlestar Galactica as there was a couple of years ago. Most genres do go within ebbs and flows. Sci-fi at the moment is in a little bit of a decline. There just isn't the big sci-fi projects on the horizon that like we have had over the last few years, like June coming up and things like that. Now, this happens because basically a movie will come out that's massively popular, and then lots of other production companies want to copy that movie. So you get sort of like spurts of films that are very similar to each other. So sci-fi would have an increase, say, following the early success of Star Trek and Star Wars and all these sorts of things. So other production companies think, well, people like sci-fi, let's make sci-fi.
Well, it's ought to be different.
We're getting a lot of superhero movies at the moment. They will decline. You'll notice that we're getting a lot of sort of romantic comedies appearing on cinematic lists at the moment. That's because one or two have been reasonably successful. I'm thinking back to Notting Hill all those years ago that really kickstarted the last time we had a revolution of rom-coms. And it's the same thing now. You get one or two successes, other production companies become confident, and they put the money in those sorts of films. So you get a slurry of those films. At the moment, there's not a lot of confidence in sci-fi. It may also be another reason why they're delaying the Stargate project that we're so desperately waiting for. You have to remember that these production companies are run by human beings at the end of the day, and they are investing tens, even hundreds of millions of dollars. They have to be reasonably confident in what they're going to do will actually make money. And in this case, in Battlestar Galactica, they're not certain. Now, this has not been cancelled. It does seem that it's just being put back while other projects are taking precedent. But the problem is for the TV series that it's not going to get done unless the movie does. That these really do go hand in hand. And the chances are we're not going to get one without the other. So we're just waiting. We're in a holding pattern, seeing if actually Simon Kinberg can get this up and running, or whether it will be just pushed back again and again because of other projects. I should say that this film was supposed to be in production now. They were supposed to have got a director around March or April last year. They haven't. And then they were going to produce the movie within 8 to 9 months of that point. So, director around March, film around now. They don't have a director now, so I don't think, even if they do get off their backsides and get this sorted, we'll be seeing Battlestar Galactica on our screens before maybe mid-2025, and the TV series sometime after that. So guys, get in the comments, is the Battlestar Galactica reboot something you desperately want to see, or do you prefer a continuation of the story? Do we really need to see this hard reboot of the original story? Do we need to see the Cylons attacking the colonies for a third time? Or actually, would a continuation of the story be way more interesting? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, really helps out. And if you want to really support the channel, consider hitting the join button. There's also links to lots of our websites, like the 9 Chevron website, which we do all of our Stargate news, our merchandise website, our Discord server, our Facebook page. All of the links are in the description. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.